Hello, folks. Welcome. Hope your hacking is going well. I just wanted to connect with you in relation to DevPost. If you haven't seen it yet, let me share my screen real quick. There is a YouTube playlist, and the FTH 2021 Checkpoint 1 was the session we had at 11 o'clock. I went a little bit over DevPost. I will put that into the chat window for the event. Do check that out if you haven't seen it. I am going to talk a little bit about DevPost and the submission process. So, as you know, you should have each of your members have created a team in DevPost. And once you start your submission, only one team member will start the submission. You'll make sure you're in the Hackathon DevPost page. I'm posting that in the chat as well. And you click on Start Submission, Add New Project, and then you use your team number first. And let's say Smart Socks. Why not? You do your CAPTCHA, which I fail also many times. Oh, I didn't. Okay, great. I'm not a robot. Then you have some items you have to get ready here. So it'll ask you for your project title. Just make sure that you have your team number so that we can connect you to the right, to our little database. So we can check off that we know that you submitted your project. You'll type in elevator pitch. I'm going to put fill in later. Because some of these, for example, that have the little stars, that means, or the asterisk, that means that you have to actually, it's required. What is it built with? Well, let's say it's built with Java. Created by. So this is where you would invite your team members. So if I wanted to invite a team member, I would either copy the link and paste it somewhere, or I would add their email here. So let's say Aishwarya is my team member. Aishwarya, you're getting a link. So you just send it, and basically she'll show up here as invite sent unconfirmed. So eventually you need to make sure that everyone confirms these. And then here at the bottom, about the project, this is just a small blurb for description purposes for your DevPost page. So again, it's going to ask you to make sure it's required. So I'm going to just put in fill in later, but do make sure that you talk about these items here. Try out links. So if you have GitHub, so if you wrote code for your project, you need to link to the GitHub repository for this. And I'm going to, and if you have issues with GitHub, connect with me, connect with Elizabeth from MLH. There's other folks that are coders as well, or that know how to work with that and set up a GitHub repository. So make sure that you connect with mentors and post out there that you need help with GitHub. And you will be creating a video. So there's a couple of places where the submission information is. One of the easiest ones is in the reception. So if I go all the way up to where the challenges is, the general submission criteria. So that's where you would look at all the requirements that you need to do. So if we look at the bottom here, you have to have a 1-minute video that's a project overview. That is what you are going to create and put here in the video demo link. We don't want a full presentation of 30 minutes with all the information. What you're going to create instead is a PDF document that talks about all the elements that we've asked you to talk about in the submission criteria. Additionally, if you are doing the Connected Community Challenge, there's additional criteria there. So for the Connected Community Challenge, you must create a statement on how you're creating intersectionality and diversity in your team. For the Connected Systems Challenge, you have to make sure additional submission requirements for that one is include a statement as to how your innovation is disruptive to an industry. Then each of these prizes have their own stipulations. So you'll make sure to check those. And in DevPost, once you submit, right here, it tells you all the different challenges. So the same document that is on the reception page is also here for you. So you can get to that easily. Video demo URL here. So you're going to choose the prizes. So for example, it's really important that you pay attention for the 3 challenges we have: connected individual, connected community, connected systems. You're going to pick one of those. Okay, so you can either do connected individual, you can either do connected community, or you can do connected systems. They're all the same amount of funding that you can win potentially, but we want to make sure that you figure out exactly, it should be relatively clear to you which one of these you are going for. This also helps, make sure that other folks have a chance to win. So hopefully you weren't trying to hit all 3 of these with one. Each one was a different challenge. So make sure that you address that. Where am I going? DevPost. Okay. And then let's say I did connected individual. Let's say I used Clo. Let's say I also used Echo AR. I used a custom domain, and I want to go for the MVP and the Inventus mentorship here. At that point in time, these are basically all the project categories that you will be judged. Then here is shared to your link's Google Drive file. So there is a Google Drive file here, which I've shared out individually to you, to your teams, where your Google Drive files are in your team Slack. So if you don't have the access to this, so I don't think I've done teams. The last few teams that came in, I don't think I've sent those to you just yet. So I will do that shortly after this. But this is where you would set up your presentation PDF. Any other additional documents would be on here. And I'm gonna go ahead and share with Kat. I'm gonna have Kat go on the screen in case she has anything to say about any of this stuff. You don't? Nothing to add? Okay, I'll take you off then. But if you have anything in relation to the team registration or judging, you can contact Kat. The DevPost, you can contact me or Aishwarya. Just make sure, for example, so here it says your Google Drive folder. So if I go back there, and since I know we don't have a Team 19, if you go to Team 19 and you go to Get Link, that would be the link I put here. And then you'd hit Complete Submission. You have to wait for it to process. You have to hit Complete Submission by 8 p.m. So this is basically it. So at this point in time, do you guys have any questions? You can go ahead and post. So I'm looking at the events and the stage. If not, you can go ahead and connect with me via Slack, or you can connect with what's it called? With any of our workers here, basically. Connect with us in Slack. It's just important that you connect with us at 5 p.m. We really do want to hear from each and every one of the teams at 5 p.m. I know there's a couple of teams we haven't been able to talk to. Yeah, it's due at 8 a.m. Sorry if I said 8 p.m. It's been long days coming up to this event, so apologies if I mistook that. But yes, everything needs to be submitted. That submit button needs to be hit before 8 a.m. because it takes time to process. If you hit it at 8, it might be closing. So make sure that you do that prior to that. So I would probably start, if you can pump stuff up by, as soon as you have it, just make sure it's there. That would be great. So any other questions? All right, so I don't see any questions. So I'm going to close the session. I'll upload this onto the YouTube channel. We have the 5 p.m. check-in, so please talk to Kat and myself at that time. And Continue hacking, connect with the mentors. Their expertise is incredible and they're eager to help you out. And yeah, have a good one.